What better way to kickstart the show than to bring you, some morning motivation? It's The Conversation on TOS Television Network, your digital-first Pan-African news network. And as always, The Conversation comes to you from Abuja, that's Nigeria's capital city. And my name is Adesu Suyi. All right, we're going to quickly, bring you stories and happenings from across Africa, starting with Sudan. So hundreds of people marched in several parts of the capital of Sudan and other cities on Thursday, as yesterday, in protest against the prospect of military rule as the crisis in the country's troubled transition from authoritarian rule deepened. Away from Sudan to South Africa, where South Africa's ex-president Jacob Zuma has yesterday laid charges against the chief state prosecutor in his corruption trial. Zuma went to Pietermaritzburg's Loop Street police station in the eastern city to open a criminal case against advocate Benny Downer for allegedly leaking his current state of health to the media. To Democratic Republic of Congo, hundreds of school children stormed parliament in the Democratic Republic of Congo, demanding higher salaries for their teachers who have been on strike since October 4. Quite a movement, actually, Democratic Republic of Congo. And that's it for our stories across Africa. But, before I wrap up the segment, I'll be bringing you COVID-19 updates from across Africa. Now, COVID is very much around. It is real. Keep doing your part to ensure that you and the next person is safe, so we don't have to come back here every time to tell you to ensure that you and the next person is safe. So COVID-19 updates from across Africa. And after that, we'll be going straight into the big story. It's still The Conversation on TOS Television Network, and it's about that time where we get into the crux of the conversation, and that is the big story. And so today the focus is on the seemingly unending spate of police brutality in Nigeria. Now, in the last 3 days, the issue of EndSARS, police brutality has been on the front burner, the memorial and all of that. And that's what we're going to be talking about on the program today. But before then, I have a very short clip for you to see. And then when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation.
Police brutality!
They have changed the name from SARS to SWAT. It's not a dissolution. It is simply a disguise.
Even if the name EndSARS is being scrapped, it's just a nomenclature. We still have the same officers in the same police uniform, brutalizing innocent Nigerians.
Our intentions are pure. The last time we had a protest here, in fact, we made a record. Even after the protest, the whole street was clean. Do you understand? So it's a sign that we are sending a true intentional message with peace.
I'm a graduate, I don't have a job. Youth are on the street, they don't have a job. No good schools. Also have been on strike for 6 months. Is that fair? Their children are schooling abroad. We are tired.
There are so many graduates that don't have job, but you keep illiterate. I was harassed in Enugu as a law student going to school. You had to harass me because of the fact that I was wearing an AirPod. Who does that? And when I tell you that I know my right, you're telling me that I'm trying to prove nonsense, and you force me into a truck. That is absolute nonsense, and we're not going to take it again.
This is not just about SARS. It's about the police in entirety. The police should be reformed. They should be educated. The average Nigerian police does not know fundamental human rights.
I'm here this afternoon to show my own concern and support, and then also to remind the government that they keep denying the fact that people were killed, innocent youths were killed. There are records, there are facts. You can't run away from this. You can't run away from this forever. Even if it takes the next 100 years, justice will still have its course.
We lost our friends some time ago, this time last year, and today we are out here. The government have deployed a lot of security operatives to come and clamp down on this, but our voice sinking in one, our effort put in one, we will not go down. We won't go down without a fight, and we must win. If we don't win today, we keep fighting until we win.
Since EndSARS last year, police brutality has not ended. In fact, the last time we had a protest here was May 31. We were brutalized by the police, shot at, actually, in this same place. So it's somewhat poetic that we are here again. And if not for the fact that there were pressmen here today, maybe we would have been shot again today. And we are not going to stop coming out for protests like this. We are asserting our right to protest. Every society deserves the freedom to dissent. People do not have to have the same opinion just because they live in the same geographical contraption. They don't. Everybody deserves the right to their own opinion, and they deserve a voice to speak out.
Very passionate Nigerians there, you know, strong belief in their cause and in the cause to end police brutality. Now, to join me, you know, in this conversation, I would not be having this conversation by myself. To join me in discussing the issue of the seemingly unending spate of police brutality in Nigeria is a human rights activist. He's Dr. Moses Paul, also known as Madmo. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you for joining me on the conversation this morning. Now let's get straight into the discussion. Police brutality in Nigeria. Since the formation or advent of the Nigerian police, I think it was around 1930 up until now, there's been a case, a constant call, you know, of the reform of the sector of that part of the security force because of the issue of police brutality, and the NSAS aspect has kind of brought that to the fore and put it on a global spectrum. What is your take on the issue of police brutality in Nigeria?
It is sad, and like you rightly said, the ideology upon which the structure of the Nigerian police is built is the crux of the matter. That's the root cause, because again, this window dressing nomenclature, symptom, reactionary change that is happening, it's skin deep and surface, and it's not going to take us anywhere until we deal with the root cause. And it is sad that opportunities have been given again and again. After 1 year, bringing this to the fore, but the leadership again has failed to take advantage of what these young people have brought to the surface. Is the biggest opportunity since the creation of the Nigerian police and the creation of this entity called Nigeria.
Yes.
Because when there is a problem, leadership is supposed to jump on it and fix it. But unfortunately, that same ideology upon which the police is built is that same ideology upon which the crock of leaders that we have today are running with. This is why they can't deal with the Boko Haram, the banditry, the headsmen, and all the things happening. Same way they can't deal with it, they don't understand the ideology, the energy, the creativity, and the passion for which this NSAS generation are bringing to the table.
Yeah.
So it's a gap, and it is sad that here we are, 60 plus years later, we cannot deal with. It's actually very simple, but you can't window dress it. You have to reach the root cause. So I feel a sense of pain because, we shouldn't be in this place. A year ago, young people, passionate, graduates and their likes, young people for the first time since the creation of this entity called Nigeria, they went beyond religion,
Yes.
beyond class, beyond party affiliations and ethnic divides. They came together to champion a cause that can deal with this one enemy that has kept Nigeria where it is. But again, our leaders have failed. So I feel deeply saddened because once again we've lost another opportunity, big one, by this crop of leaders.
Okay, it's amazing that you kept mentioning dealing with the root cause. I was on site for the protests last year, and I was there for the memorial this year, and I could tell that one thing that most of the people out there were clamoring for was to reform the Nigerian police. Like some of the demands were the fact that increase their salary, you know, sensitize them and all of that. So it was like the cause was actually even for the men in uniform, even though they're the ones brutalizing, you know, these young Nigerians. And some persons have said it could be justifiable that police brutality is on the fore because they don't even, they're not trained, they're not paid well, so they could be. It's justifiable that they're angry, they're that angry. But do you think that's enough reason for them to actually, you know, be that brutal on young Nigerians?
You see, it's ignorance, and ignorance can be very deep, you know, and once it's not treated. So yes, it's part of it, but I can tell you, because being at the grassroots and somebody who is on the street also, for the majority of these police people, they don't even know that they're suffering. Many Nigerians do not know that they are suffering because if you've been in darkness for so long, you don't even understand what light is. You can imagine the first time I was in the States, I thought I understood, I thought I knew things, but then I could see that even those who thought that they were okay here, it's from the mindset or from the perspective of deprivation and poverty. So when you go out there and you see the rest of the world where basic amenities are there, where people talk to you like a human being, then when you come back, but the crop of people we have don't even know that they're suffering. Nigerians don't know that they're suffering. That's why you hear themes like suffering and smiling. It is because they don't know. And this is what the problem is. So it's a reorientation that has to happen. And this is what the NSAS generation are begging for. They're asking for a total reorientation of this. It is for them. But you see, when you are fighting for somebody who does not even know, who is not even in the space of acknowledging that you're fighting for him, he will be the person to kill you. And this is exactly what we see with the Nigerian police.
It's sad that we're actually out of time. I would actually want to prolong this conversation, but we're already out of time. But thank you so much for joining me in the conversation this morning. I do hope that we can continue this conversation some other time.
It should, and should always.
All right, thank you. And thank you to our viewers for joining me on the conversation this morning. Do not forget that you should always stay safe, and then the conversation comes to you every weekday. That's from Monday to Friday. But before then, follow TOS TV Network across all social media platforms. That's TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, subscribe to TOS TV Network on YouTube. You can also stream the conversation on other programs on www.tostvnetwork.com. My name is Adesiwa Osuyi. Always remember to stay safe and have an amazing weekend.